In this workout, we're going to move from one pose to another in a flow. The movements and transitions from one pose to another will be quicker, which will elevate your heart rate, help you burn stubborn fat, and make you stronger for everyday life. You can make it easier by not using your weights. Always feel free to adjust the workout to your level. Let's start seated on your mat for some breath work. The use of your breath is very important in yoga because it calms the mind and energizes the body. Sit in an easy cross-legged position, putting one leg in front of the other. Sit up straight, take a deep breath in through your nose, and then let it out through your mouth. Let's do that 2 more times. Deep breath in, holding for a few seconds, and then let it go out of your mouth. 1 more time. Deep breath in, filling your lungs, and then exhale. Slowly walk your hands out in front of you, only going to the point where you start to feel the stretch in your lower back and your hips. As this stretch settles into your body, you can walk your hands out a little further, feeling an additional stretch in your upper back. Take a deep breath in, and on your exhale, walk yourself back up. We'll repeat that 1 more time. Switch sides by putting the opposite leg in front of you. Slowly walk yourself out, focusing the stretch on your lower back. I want you to notice if there was a difference between one side and the other. Take a deep breath in, and on your exhale, slowly come back up. Bring your knees together and roll down onto your mat for an easy spinal twist. Pull your right knee into your chest and extend your left leg straight onto the mat. Bring your right knee across your body with your right arm straight out at your shoulder. Keep your shoulder blades on the mat. Look out over your right shoulder to complete your twist. This should feel good, so don't force it. You just want to slowly warm up your lower back. Let's switch sides. Bring both knees back into your chest. This time your left knee stays in and your right leg goes straight onto the floor. Bring your left knee towards the right side of the room with your left arm straight out at your shoulder. Look out over your left shoulder. Yoga is all about body awareness. So notice if there's a difference between one side and the other. Take a few breaths and then bring your knees back into your chest. With your knees together, rock up and back the length of your mat, massaging your spine. Do this 4 or 5 times and then use your core strength to rock up to standing position. You can modify the pose and use your hands to help get you up. Once you're up, bring your feet about hip distance apart and reach your arms to the ceiling. Now reach up a little higher with your right hand and then a little higher with your left, feeling a nice stretch along your rib cage. Take a deep breath in and on your exhale, hinge forward to a standing forward bend. If your hamstrings or your lower back is tight, you can bend your knees. Clasp opposite elbows, forming a box around your head. Just hang here a few breaths, allowing the spine to stretch out. Shake your head side to side, releasing your neck. Release your arms. If you're using weights, grab 2 1 to 3 pound dumbbells. Bend your knees and slowly roll up to standing. Bring your weights straight out in front of you and then reach them up to the ceiling. Step your feet together with your legs touching. Holding your weights overhead, sink down into chair pose by lowering your hips back and down, just as if you're about to sit on a chair. Keep your knees behind your toes and press your thighs together, engaging your abs. Keeping your palms facing forward, Bend your elbows and bring them to shoulder height, setting up for overhead shoulder presses. And then lift your weights up towards the ceiling. Bring your arms by your ears. Slowly lower your weights back down. We're going to do this 4 more times. Press your weights up towards the ceiling, keeping your palms facing forward. 3 more times, remembering to keep your core engaged as you perform each rep. 2 more times. I know your thighs are burning. Last one. Keeping your knees bent in chair pose. Slowly lower your arms by your sides. Palms facing in towards your body. Curl your weights into your chest and then press them behind you, keeping your elbows steady and close to your body so they're touching your rib cage. You should really feel this in the backs of your arms. Take a deep breath in and extend your arms behind your back, lifting through the triceps. Exhaling as you curl your weight to your chest. 1 more, really squeezing through the triceps. Nice job. Come back to standing and shake out your legs. Now that's a workout. Hinge forward and place your weights at the top of the mat. Then step back to plank pose. Plank pose looks like the top of a push-up. Make sure you have your shoulders, elbows, and wrists in one line, and keep your belly engaged to protect your back. Remember, you can always modify plank pose by bringing your knees to the mat. It makes it a little easier. Slowly lower down to hover pose, keeping your elbows in by your sides to protect your shoulders, and then scoop your chest forward and up for upward facing dog. You can also bend your elbows if you want for cobra. And then engage your core muscles and pull yourself back to downward facing dog. Your hands are shoulder distance apart and your feet are hip distance apart, and your gaze is focused between your feet. Tip your hips to the ceiling and press your heels down to the mat, feeling a nice stretch in the back of your legs. Hold downward facing dog for a few breaths. If it feels good, slowly pedal out your feet at the back of the mat, bending one knee and then the other, pressing your heels to the floor as you straighten your leg. It should feel really good. Let's do that series 2 more times to really heat up your body. Come back to high plank, pulling your abs towards your spine. Slowly lower towards the mat, hovering your torso a few inches off the mat. Inhale as you pull your torso forward and roll over your toes, coming to upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale and exhale, letting go of any tension. Hold downward facing dog. If you want a challenge, come back to high plank. Lower to hover, keeping elbows pulled in. Inhale as you come into a nice big upward facing dog, rolling your shoulders down and back, keeping them away from your ears. Exhale, coming back into downward facing dog. We're going to start to move more quickly. If at any point you get tired, just come to child's pose and rest. Or you can perform the poses without weights. Inhale as you lift your right leg to the ceiling. On your exhale, swing your foot through between your hands. Spin your back heel down, keeping a bend in your front knee. When you feel secure, grab your weights and slowly come up to Warrior One, bringing your arms straight up to the ceiling. Make sure your hips and shoulders are squared to the front of the room. Inhale, exhale, bending a little deeper into your front knee, really working your thigh. Take a deep breath in, and on your exhale, bring your weights down to the floor and place them at the top of your mat. Then step back to plank pose. If you're modifying, drop to your knees. Slowly lower down with your elbows touching your sides, and then scoop forward and up to upward facing dog. Roll your shoulders back and press the tops of your feet into the mat, trying to lift your thighs a few inches off the mat. From here, engage your core muscles and pull yourself back to downward facing dog. Take a nice deep breath in and exhale it out. Yoga is all about balance, so what you do on your right side, you should always do on your left side. Inhale your left leg to the ceiling, then swing your foot through between your hands, drop your back heel, and grab your weights. Take a deep breath in and slowly come up to Warrior One. Bring your arms to the ceiling as you square your hips and chest to the front of the room. Check your form. If you can't keep your arms straight, you might want to use lighter weights. Continue breathing, sinking a little deeper into the front knee, keeping your knee behind your toes and your belly pulled to your spine. Slowly bring your weights down, place them at the top of the mat, and then step back to plank pose. Slowly lower down to hover, scooping your chest forward and up for upward facing dog. Press into your hands and the tops of your feet to lift your thighs off the floor. Engage your core muscles and pull yourself back to downward facing dog. Take 2 nice long inhales and exhales, pressing your heels into the floor and your palms into the mat. Let's do Warrior One on each side one more time. Inhale your right leg to the ceiling, and then exhale as you step it between your hands. Grab your weights, keep your core engaged, inhale your arms to the ceiling. Press your feet firmly into the ground and feel your arms reaching to the ceiling, keeping your shoulders rolled back and down. Bend a little deeper in your front knee. Keep your hips squared to the front of the mat. Exhale your hands to the mat. Place your weights to the top of the mat and step back to plank pose. Lower to a hover, remembering that you can always drop down to your knees, and then pull yourself to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale, releasing any tension. Inhale your left leg to the ceiling. Exhaling as you step your left foot between your hands. Grab your weights. Inhale as you lift your torso, reaching your arms by your ears. Keeping your hips squared, bend a little deeper in your front knee, really working your thigh. Remember, it's okay if your thighs burn or shake a little bit. That just means you're getting stronger. Exhale as you bring your hands down to the mat and step back to plank pose. Lower to a hover. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Great job. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale here as we get ready to start incorporating more weights. Inhale your right leg to the ceiling, and then swing your foot through between your hands, dropping your back heel. Grab your weights before you come up to Warrior One. Lifting your arms to the ceiling. Now we're going to add overhead lifts, keeping your palms facing each other. Bend your elbows and bring them to shoulder height, and then press them back up to the ceiling. Let's do that 4 more times. Bend your elbows and bring them to shoulder height, and then back up to the ceiling. Make sure you keep your palms facing each other. One more. Holding onto your weights, rest them on your shoulders. Keep your legs where they are in Warrior One and slowly shift your hips and torso to the side of the room. Sink a little deeper in the front knee, always keeping your knee behind your toes. And reach your arms to the front and the back of the room with your palms facing the ceiling. Keep your tailbone aligned with your spine and try not to push your butt out. And keep your belly tight. Slowly bend your elbows, bringing your weights towards your shoulders, and then back out again for bicep curls. Keeping your arms at shoulder height, try not to let them sink down. 3 more. Bring your weights towards your shoulders and then back out again, really resisting the weights as you lower. 1 more. Nice work. Rest your weights on your shoulders and then come back to Warrior One. Turning your hip to the front of the room and reaching your arms up to the ceiling. Take a deep breath in, and on your exhale, place your weights to the floor and then step back to plank pose. Slowly lower down to hover pose, and then scoop your chest forward to upward facing dog, keeping your shoulders back and your legs active. Engage your core muscles and pull yourself back to downward facing dog. This time, left leg floats to the ceiling. Swing your left foot through between your hands. Drop your back heel. Grab your weights and slowly come up to Warrior One. Bring your arms to the ceiling. From here, bend your elbows and bring them to shoulder height. Inhale as you press your weights up, and exhale as you bring them down. Let's do this 4 more times. Bring your arms to the ceiling, bend your elbows, and bring your arms to shoulder height. 3 more. Remember to breathe. Last one. Rest your weights on your shoulders. We're going to transition to Warrior Two. Slowly shift your hips and your shoulders to the side of the room. Make sure the front knee stays in line with the ankle. Bring your arms to the front and the back of the room with your palms facing the ceiling for bicep curls. Bring your arms towards your shoulders and then back out again. Continue to flow through the move, trying to keep your arms at shoulder height. For a challenge, sink a little deeper in the front knee. Last one. Rest your weights on your shoulders and then come back to Warrior One, bringing your arms up to the ceiling. Take a deep breath in, and on your exhale, you bring your weights to the floor and step back to plank pose. Slowly lower down to hover, then scoop your chest forward and up for upward facing dog. Try to keep your shoulders rolled back and your legs active. Then engage your core muscles and pull yourself back to downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg to the ceiling and then swing your foot through between your hands. Grab your weights. Engage your core as you bring your arms up to the ceiling for Warrior One with tricep lifts. Bring your weights together. If you can, bend your elbows and slowly bring your weights behind your head. Take a deep breath in And as you exhale, bring your weights back up to the ceiling. Let's do this a few more times. As you work your triceps, don't forget about your lower body. Try to keep a nice bend in your front knee. Remember to inhale as you lift your weights and exhale as you bring them down. Do one more rep, nice and slow, and then rest your weights on your shoulders. From Warrior 1, we're going to transition to Warrior 2. Slowly shift your hips and your shoulders to the side of the room. Take a second and check your form. Don't let your knee buckle in. Press your knee out towards the right pinky toe. Reach your arms to the front and the back of the room at shoulder height. Your palms are facing the floor for mini lifts. Keep your arms straight at shoulder height and then lift them up 2 inches and then back down to shoulder level. Make sure your legs are strong and stable. Let's do this a few more times. If this is too hard, you can always do mini lifts without weights. You should really start to feel the work here. This small movement is challenging and a great way to sculpt your shoulders. Last few. Nice job. From here, bring your right elbow to your knee and your left hand to the floor, squaring your chest to the mat for lat rows. Breathe in as you lift your left weight to your chest, rotating your torso to the side. As you exhale, extend your weight overhead. Pause, taking a nice big inhale. Then exhale as you lower your weight back down to the chest and then to the floor. Let's do a few more. Take a deep breath in as you bring your weight into your chest, rotating your torso, and exhale as you press your weight overhead. Pause to inhale and then exhale as you lower the weight back down. Continuing moving through the exercise, make sure to focus your breath, really feeling the work in your upper back, keeping your core engaged to help stabilize your body. Take a deep breath in, and then on your exhale, bring your weight back down to the chest and then to the floor. Place your weights at the top of your mat and step back to plank pose. Shoulders, elbows, and wrists in one line. Slowly lower down to hover pose. Then use your hands to scoop your chest forward and up to upward facing dog, keeping your shoulders rolled back and your legs active. Engage your core muscles and pull yourself back to downward facing dog. Now we'll repeat that series on the opposite side. Inhale your left leg to the ceiling and then swing your foot through between your hands, spinning your back heel flat. Grab your weights, engage your core as you come up to Warrior 1, bringing your arms to the ceiling for tricep lifts. Bring your weights together, then slowly bring them behind your head. Inhale as you bring your weights back up to the ceiling. Exhale as you bring them down. Let's do this a few more times. Inhale as you bring your weights up. Exhale as you bring them down. Try to keep your elbows close to your ears. One more slowly. Then rest your weights on your shoulders. From Warrior 1, we're going to transition to Warrior 2. Slowly shift your hips and your shoulders to the side of the room. Take a second to check your form. Your front knee should be bent at a 90-degree angle. Bring your arms to the front and the back of the room at shoulder height. Your palms are facing the floor for mini lifts. Keep your arms straight at your shoulder height and lift them up 2 inches and then back down to shoulder level. Let's do this a few more times. Sink down in your front knee if you can. Don't forget about your legs. If it's hard, you can always do mini lifts without your weights. Remember your arms up 2 inches, then back down to shoulder level. Keep going. You can do it. Remember how strong you are and how good this is for your entire body. Last one. Nice work. From here, bring your left elbow to your knee and your right hand to the floor, rotating your torso towards the mat for lat rows. Make sure you hold on to your weight. Breathe in as you lift your right weight up to your chest. Exhale as you lift your weight to the ceiling. Take a deep breath in, and on your exhale, bring your weight back down to your chest, and then to the floor. Let's do a few more. Take a deep breath in as you bring your weight into your chest, rotating your torso, and exhale as you press the weight overhead. Pause to inhale, and then exhale as you lower your weight back down. Continuing moving through the exercise, making sure you focus on your breath, really feeling the work in your upper back. Keep your core engaged by pulling your belly button to your spine. This will help stabilize your body. Take a deep breath in, and on your exhale, bring your weight back down to your chest and then to the floor. Place your weights at the top of your mat and then step back to plank. Slowly lower and then scoop your chest forward and up for upward facing dog. Engage your core and pull yourself back to downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg to the ceiling, coming up on the ball of your back foot. Swing your leg through for crescent pose. Staying up on the ball of your back foot, get your balance, and then grab your weights. Slowly bring your weights to the ceiling. Pause here to get your balance. Once you feel you're stable, lower your weights to your sides, palm facing forward, setting up for alternating bicep curls. Slowly curl your right weight towards your right shoulder, and then back down again. Now bring your left weight towards your left shoulder. Continue alternating bicep curls, really focusing on curling the weight towards each shoulder and then resisting the weight as you lower it back down. If you can't keep your balance when you're doing bicep curls, just let your arms hang by your hips. You're still sculpting your entire lower body and strengthening your core. Last few. Nice job. From here, bring your arms alongside your hips. Take a deep breath in, and on your exhale, slowly shift your weight forward, really pulling your belly button towards your spine as you straighten your right leg and lift your left leg behind you, coming into Warrior 3. Keep your arms by your hips. Our goal is to look like a T, so try to lower your chest a little bit more. Flexing your back foot will help you balance. This pose tones the entire body and strengthens your abs. Take a deep breath in, and on your exhale, drop your raised leg to the mat and hinge forward at your hips, coming into a standing forward bend. Bend your knees to release your lower back. Place your weights at the top of your mat and step back to plank pose. Slowly lower down to hover. Scoop your chest forward and up to upward facing dog. And then engage your core muscles and pull yourself back to downward facing dog. Great job. Repeat that series on the left side. Inhale your left leg to the ceiling, coming up on the ball of your back foot, and then swing your leg through for crescent pose. Staying up on the ball of your back foot, get your balance, and then grab your weights. Slowly bring your weights to the ceiling. Pause here to get your balance. Once you feel stable, lower your weights by your sides, palms facing forward, setting up for alternating bicep curls. Slowly curl your right weight towards your right shoulder and then back down again. Now curl your left weight towards your left shoulder. Continue alternating, really working to strengthen and tighten your arms. Keep breathing. Your back leg is very active. Press your back heel to the back wall and sink a little deeper into your front knee. Just a few more reps. Good work. From here, bring your arms alongside your hips. Take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, slowly shift your weight forward, really pulling your belly button towards your spine as you straighten your left leg and float your right leg behind you, coming up into Warrior 3. Keep your arms by your hips. Our goal is to look like a T, so lower your chest a little bit more. Try to keep your hips squared to the floor and pull your belly button to your spine. Take a deep breath in, and on your exhale, drop your raised leg to the mat. Hinge forward at your hips, coming into standing forward bend. Bend your knees to release your lower back. Place your weights at the top of the mat and step back to plank pose. Slowly lower down to hover, and then scoop your chest forward and up for upward facing dog. And then engage your core muscles and pull yourself back to downward facing dog. Come down to the mat for child's pose. Bring your knees together and rest your chest on your thighs, or bring your knees mat width apart and rest your torso between them. In either version, rest your forehead gently on the mat for a mini break. I'm sure you could use one right now. Return your focus to your breathing and notice your heartbeat. You've been working hard. Be proud of what you've already accomplished today. Slowly roll up so that you're sitting on your heels. The tops of your feet are pressing into the mat, toes pointed to the back wall. Grab your weights and rest them on the tops of your thighs with your palms facing down. Take a deep breath in, and on your exhale, come up onto your knees, bringing your weights up and over your head, straight up to the ceiling. Make sure your palms are facing forward. Then slowly come back down for a count of 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The slower you go, the more core strength it takes. Let's do that a few more times. As you come up, don't swing your weights. Instead, use your quadricep muscles to pull your body forward and up. Slowly lower down. Take a deep breath in, and on your exhale, bring your weights, stretching the front of your body and strengthening your lower back. Hold your weights at the top, engage your core, take a deep breath in, and on your exhale, slowly lower down with your arms out in front of you. Okay, one more time. Take a deep breath in, and on your exhale, bring your weights straight up to the ceiling. Hold your weights at the top. Really focus on your core as you lower them back down to your thighs for a count of 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's challenging, but it's worth it. Swing your legs out in front of you and shake them out. Bring your weights on top of your thighs for some upright rows. You can keep your legs together, or if it's hard to sit up straight, then bring your legs wide apart. Keep the ends of your weights together and bring them to your chest, keeping your elbows out to your sides. Then release them back down to your thighs. Let's do this 4 more times. Deep breath in, and on your exhale, bring your weights to your chest and then release them down to your lap. 3 more. Deep breath in, bring your weights to your chest and bring them back down. 2 more. Sit up straight and bring your weights to your chest. Hold and then release them to your thighs. 1 more. Engage your core as you bring your weights to your chest and then back down to your thighs. Bring your weights by your hip and your right foot to the inside of your left thigh for seated tree with a lift. Bring your right hand to the floor for balance. Hold your weight and reach up and over with your left arm for a side arm stretch. Only stretch as far to the side as you can without turning your shoulders or leaning forward. Then bend your elbow, take a deep breath in as you bring your weight back down. Let's do that a few more times, sitting up straight as you reach up and over. Bring your weight back down. 3 more times. Deep breath in as you reach up and over, focusing on your core. 2 more slowly. One more time, up and over. Take a deep breath in as you bring your weight back down. Let's switch sides. Both legs out in front of you. And then bring your left foot to the inside of your right leg. Place your left hand on the floor beside you. Grab your weight with your right hand and reach up and over slowly. Take a deep breath in as you bring your weight back down. 4 more times, sitting up straight as you reach up and over. 3 more times. This is a great pose to help get rid of muffin tops. 2 more. Deep breath in as you reach up and over, focusing on your core. 1 more time, up and over. Take a deep breath in as you bring your weight back down. Bring the soles of your feet together and sit up tall for cobbler's pose. Grab your weights, bring them shoulder level with your palms facing forward for some chest flies. This pose will stretch your thighs while strengthening and toning your chest. Take a deep breath in, and on your exhale, bring your forearms together, elbows touching. Then bring them out to the sides, opening your chest. You can also do a mini lift when your elbows touch. So when your elbows touch together, lift your arms to the ceiling. For maximum benefit, keep your elbows at shoulder height. Go slowly and don't forget to breathe. 2 more times. 1 more. Great work. We're going to do boat with a burn. This is a challenging move that will really strengthen and tone your belly, but you may need to start without weights. Bend your knees and place your feet flat on the mat with your knees together. And hold your weights against your chest. Lean back, lifting your feet off the mat, pulling your belly to your spine. Slowly lower down a few inches and then come back up, extending your arms by your knees. Hold there. Really pull your belly in for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then bring your weights to your chest. We're going to do this 4 more times. Lower down a few inches and then come back up holding for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1. And then lower down, take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, come back up and hold for 10, 9, 8. You can do it. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, 2 more. Lower down. And then come back up and hold. Stick with it. Almost there. Last one. Lower down and then come back up and hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You did it. Bring your knees into your chest and roll down onto the mat. Hug your knees into your chest and rock side to side to release your lower back. We're going to do dead bug with chest press. Keeping your knees to your chest, grab your weights, bend your elbows, and bring your weights by your chest, setting up for chest presses. Keeping your knees bent, let them fall open slightly wider than your torso, stacking your ankles over your knees and flexing your feet to the ceiling. Take a deep breath in, and on your exhale, lift your weights and your legs to the ceiling, keeping your feet flexed. Try to lift your hips and chest off the mat, bringing your weights to your toes. Hold for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release and return to the starting position. We're going to do this 4 more times. Take a deep breath in, and on your exhale, lift your weights and your legs to the ceiling. Hold for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release your knees and your weights back down to the mat. 3 more times. Press up and hold. Release, lowering your back to the mat. 2 more. Reach up and hold for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower back to the mat. Last one. Hold for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Place your weights by your side and hug your knees into your chest. Rock side to side to release your lower back. From here, release your feet to the floor, setting up for bridge with a lift. Now lay on your mat with your knees bent and your feet hip distance apart. Try to reach your fingertips to your heels. If you can't reach your heels, walk your feet a little bit closer to your body. Take in a deep breath, and as you exhale, push your feet down into the floor as you lift your hips up to the ceiling. Once your hips are up, bring your arms underneath you and clasp your hands together. I want you to try to roll your shoulder blades together, which will stretch your chest muscles. Raise your chest to your chin. Release your arms and slowly lower yourself down onto the floor. We're going to do this again, but now with an added belly burning challenge. Grab your weights, and as you lift your hips to the ceiling, extend your arms up and over your head. Once the back of your hands touch the floor behind your head, bring them back down to where you started, lowering your hips back to the floor at the same time. This stretches the front of your body, your core, while strengthening your lower back. So really focus on your abs during this pose. Let's do this a few more times. As you bring your arms over your head, really feel your chest and core muscles working. Once you're finished, release your weights. Hug your knees into your chest and rock side to side. Great work. It's time to cool down. You should be feeling great at this point and proud of all you've done for yourself today. Let's release the back with an easy spinal twist. Keep your right knee pulled into your chest and extend your left leg straight onto the mat. Bring your right knee across your body. Keeping your shoulder blades on the floor, look out over your right shoulder to complete your twist. Breathe nice and deep, allowing your back to relax for 30 seconds or so. Let's switch sides. This time, left knee comes into your body and your right leg goes straight onto the floor. Pull your knee across your body and look out over your left fingertips. Hold here, breathing deeply. Bring both knees into your chest. Slowly extend your feet in front of you, bringing each foot to the corner of your mat and letting your feet fall out to the side, setting up for corpse pose. Bringing your arms by your sides, a few inches away from your body, with your palms facing the ceiling. It's our last pose, and one of the most important because it lets all the benefits of your workout settle into your body before running off and continuing your day. Think of this as a 2-minute mini vacation. Slowly start to wiggle your toes and wiggle your fingers, coming back to your body. Slowly pull your knees into your chest and roll over to the right. Take a moment to be thankful for your body, your practice, and for your life. Keeping your eyes closed, slowly roll to a seated position. Bring your hands to your knees. We'll take 2 nice deep breaths to end our practice. Inhale, filling your lungs, and exhale. One more. Take a nice deep inhale and let it all go, exhaling through your mouth. Open your eyes. Nice job. You should feel really proud of yourself and try to take this calm, serene feeling with you